Find your own voice, lead from within. With me today is Carol Ann Cooper. Carol Ann, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Oh, thank you, Nonsa. And it's good afternoon from London, so wherever you are. Could be good morning, could be good night. But yes, as the writing facilitator, what I do is I support entrepreneurs in becoming more productive with their writing by connecting them with their deeper innate ability to write. But more importantly, they experience free-flowing writing. They experience an unlocking of the writer within and getting their story written, getting their book written, because you cannot publish what isn't written. And all of this has actually come about through my own journey of unlocking the writer within.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Carol Ann. So our topic today is, are you someone who is worried about what people think about your creativity? What do you think about the topic, Carol Ann?
Yes. Yeah, what others worried about, what others will think about your creative work, your creativity, your creative work, what you're producing creatively. And yeah, I thought it was a great topic to explore, because so many people are worried about what others will think, and it stops them producing anything. There's a writer, Elizabeth Gilbert, she says, fear is a desolate boneyard where our dreams go to desiccate in the hot sun. No, the worry behind worry is fear. And so that fear just stops you in its tracks. So I thought, yeah, it'd be a great topic to talk about and see why there's fears, what fears there are, what you could perhaps do to overcome them. And your new...
And also the fear that we are talking about, what Carol Ann is saying is the fear that can stop you actually using your talent, is the fear that can actually stop because you're worried of being rejected by people, or because you are worried about being criticized or being misunderstood. When I was actually looking for speakers for Ngosi talk shows, Breakthrough Challenge Survival, I looked for these speakers, and I was receiving some really good feedback from the big motivational speakers. They were like, Nomsa, we are not available, and but good luck with the event and stuff. And some of them were like, I want to be paid, Nomsa, when I come and speak to your event. Can you afford to charge me £6,000? I was like, no chance. But what surprised me is that there are some people that are on Facebook that are just like, they do live and they get like 200 views. They get like maybe 300 views. I asked them, I was like, Breakthrough Challenge Survival. And they were willing to come to Breakthrough Challenge Survival. And then I said to one of them, would you like to come to Ngosi talk shows one day? And she said, oh, I know these talk shows. And then she just stopped talking. And she was like, no, thank you. And she stopped talking. So then it made me realize, actually, she wanted to come for the summit, but she didn't want to come to the Breakthrough Challenge. She wanted to come to the Breakthrough Challenge Survival, but she does not want to come to Ngosi talk shows. And I look at it and I think it's because she thinks that is because of the views being less on Facebook. It's because on Facebook I completely stopped sharing the Ngosi talk shows. I used to share it a lot, and then you get 1,000 to 2,000 views. But I've realized that my focus is not really about views. It's about the people, changing people's lives, and people that know about like sharing and people seeing gossip talk shows. So I've decided I'm just going to focus on YouTube. So I realized that she was actually talking down my gossip talk shows. And then I was like, I was laughing. I was like, actually, I'm not a person that is about the views. My views might not say entertaining like on Facebook, but I'm growing somewhere else. So I was like, I could have easily got angry. I could have easily, but she made me really say, and that's why I said to you, you need to go and check the Breakthrough Challenge Survival, the YouTube channel, because you guys have not been. So that was like, okay, so I could have easily been offended. I could have easily, and she's not the only one as well. I did ask these other speakers as well before. The speakers, there are some really good speakers that when you speak to them that know how to support people. And I know, these speakers that came on Saturday, I don't think they came because I think they just needed to support and to collaborate, because that was the thing that when I was approaching them, and like Nomsa, I love to collaborate. I love to work with you. And even Catherine sent me an email yesterday. She was like, don't forget my coffee in London that you guys promised. And I was like, yes. And she was like, keep in touch. So I think you guys should get all the speakers' email that were here and keep in touch with them, because we are a team. So, and just stay in contact. I did promise that I will stay in touch. And so those are the things that we're talking about, Kiro, and that, yes, people criticize you. But then if you're not strong enough, what do you do?
You're not strong enough. What do you do?
If you don't have courage,
question, yes.
Yeah. What do you do if you're not, if you don't know your purpose? Because if I come in, enter your life, you already have a purpose that God has given you. And I come into your life and I just crush that purpose. What do you do moving forward? If you are that somebody who's not strong enough, what do you do? Because you need to know your purpose in order to keep going.
You do. Absolutely. You do. And, I love what you were saying about these speakers that actually came on the summit. I mean, it was an absolutely amazing day.
Yeah.
And to be with those speakers, and the fact that they were there because they wanted to support and collaborate. That's their philosophy. And it is about collaborating. And the more you're seen out and sharing, it shows you in a different light. But it is about collaboration, because you just never know who you might find yourself talking with. And as you say, like with Catherine, there's still that connection. She's going to come over, going to, meet up for coffee. And who knows what can come out of it. But also by you constantly reaching out. And even though there were speakers that said, no, I charge, can you afford me? There were others that said no or didn't answer. If you hadn't actually put it out there and reached out to them, you would have had none of that feedback. And it is just about getting the feedback. Whatever people come back with you at, it's feedback. And it's recognizing that they're not rejecting you.
No.
So for someone that hasn't or feels they don't have the strength to do this or the courage, and I know I've been there because it's something that I've had to overcome in terms of writing to people and messaging them and sharing about my writing retreat that's happening on Sunday for next week. And just I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off because it's like, oh, what are they going to say? It's like,
I tell you what you need to do, Carol Ann. You need to do a video.
Okay, I'll do a video. Yeah, I've done a few lives, but video would be good. Yes,
you need to
but
do
I
a
actually
video.
did. I did actually reach out. So, like you messaged loads of people. I've sent out the other weekend. I literally bit the bullet and messaged a lot of people.
Yeah.
Some I knew, some I didn't. They were their contacts. But what came out of that has been some amazing interactions.
Yeah, feedback as well.
Feedback, but I'm talking about interactions, Nomsa.
Yeah.
About people saying, thank you, this sounds interesting. Or no, this isn't for me. And then me just carrying on a conversation with them and saying, well, thank you. And, tell me about what is it you do? So there's been an interaction, an engagement that's happened that I've been putting off doing. And that was sort of what I was worried about, was that engagement. But also there was that worry about what will people think about my retreat, because it's not like anything else, other retreats that are out there. But a lot of people said they like the sound of it. I've got a lot of people that have said they're interested, but next year, they haven't got the time now or the money, but they're interested. So I started making a list.
Yeah.
People on a waiting list. So I need to get back in touch. So certainly, as you were saying, it's not about, because your summit was however you designed it and created it. It wasn't necessarily the same as other people's summits, but it was your summit.
Yeah.
And it was your creative work. You created it in collaboration with the team, and it worked. And this is the thing, it's having that courage to just go for it. Now, if you don't have that courage, it's about going to that, what is the fear? Recognize what is it that's holding you back. One of the key things is, as you said, you'll be rejected.
Yeah.
You'll be ignored. Well, if they ignore you, they don't get back to you. Don't take it personally, because it's not you that they're rejecting. It's not you that they're ignoring. They're busy. They've got their own lives that they're leading. And it may be that they've seen it and they'll think, oh, I'll come back to that. But you know what life's like. It gets hidden in amongst everything else and forgotten. You just need to keep popping up and come back again. And if they still don't get back to you, it's not personal. Move on, So, I've been really amazed at the support that I've had, and people that and this is something that I've.
Have you tried LinkedIn, Carol Annie, to reach out to people on LinkedIn?
Yeah, I've reached out to a lot of people on LinkedIn, and there's a lot of people I know on there that have got back. I've had people sharing it for me.
Yeah.
And that's been absolutely amazing. It's sort of woken me up to the realization there are people out there who want me to succeed, who want me to support me. So shift your focus, stop worrying about those that aren't interested. Focus on those that are. And, but this has been cultivated over time. It would, all these people that I know, I haven't got to know them because it was, well, what can they do for me? It's just something that's happened over time with all the courses I've been on, the groups that I've been part of, just getting to know people and supporting them, helping them, just being with them. And that's been over years,
Yeah.
And you just develop a relationship.
I know.
And something magical just happens then. Yeah. So if you haven't got the courage, just work out what the fear is. And then if you can't do it, reach out, because we can support you in actually getting over that fear. But it is identifying what's the fear, what's holding you back. What beliefs have you got in place? Yeah. So what actually helped you get over the hurdle and actually do what you needed to do and reach out, Nomsa?
What made me actually
How did you get over that? Oh my God, that worry, reaching out.
what made me actually get over the when I was speaking to Shanda, it's like when she said arrange the summit, she actually said the negative things that when you send emails, this is what you're gonna get. And some speakers will say this, and some speakers will say this, and that was exactly what they were saying. And she said, all you got to do is your why. You have to know your why. And also, the other thing that made me actually go ahead and keep going, it was I knew I want to arrange this summit, and I knew if I arrange this summit and I want people to know more about what Nkosi Talk Show is about and what Hope Springs Eternal Introduction Agency is about, and what the speakers and the coaches at Nkosi Talk Show is, what they're about and what they do. And the coaches. So I knew that if I hold back and let the fear take over, I'm never going to get to where I need to be. And the results that I need, I'm never going to know whether it will succeed or it's not going to succeed. And also, I watched one of the guys that did the summit, and he did the summit, and he said, I'm afraid just because you have a company and you're making money in that company, it doesn't mean that people knows you. Nobody knows you. You little bit people, they know you. And he said when he started doing the summits, people started paying attention of what he does. And it's made me realize today I'm dropping my daughter at school. I asked one of the parents, I was like, how is the job hunting? She has a job, but she wants to, for some reason, she's decided she wants to get more out of what she's worth. So I was like, how is the job hunting going? And she goes, the job hunting is going well, Nomsa. Remember, it goes to talk shows, things takes time. And you will have to keep going no matter what. She didn't say Nkosi Talk Show, she says Nkosi Talk Show Summit. And then it made me realize actually she has been watching the summit. And now actually I was like, oh, okay. And then I had to say, oh yes, things takes time and you got to keep going regardless of whatever you face in life. So she was reminding me that Nkosi Talk Shows, at least I know now about the summit. I know now about Nkosi Talk Shows. And that made me realize that actually I did the right thing. And for me, what made me actually go ahead and do it, it was part of it, it was God, my prayer, praying to God and wanting him to bless me. And in order knowing that if I want him to bless me, I'm going to have to take action. I'm going to have to do something about it. And also there's a Messi, what's this guy's name? Is it called Messi and what's his name? I've forgotten about them. They live in this island. They bought an island. They live in an island. They wrote, the guy that wrote Life Book and his wife, Life Book. Yeah, so I'm going to remember him. I'll put his name in the group. I watched their live as well, and they're like, everybody's doing what everybody's doing. And everybody is afraid of doing the things that they want. And they were like, sometimes if you want to achieve your goals and your dreams, you're going to have to write your life step by step. Write your goals and your vision step by step. And be prepared to do things that nobody has ever done, which is I've done Summit live on Facebook, and I know that some people were criticizing and things like that, but I am prepared to go more, Carol Ann. I'm prepared to go more, to do more Summit.
Another summit, eh?
According to Shanda, if she has her way, it will be a summit every month.
Gosh. That's a lot. Yeah,
If
that's
she had her way, because that's what she does. She
okay.
actually, yeah, if she had her way,
Hmm.
she will be doing a summit every month. That's how I found her, because I was like, she does live, and then she'll be training people again on Zoom, like all
Hmm.
day, 6 hours. And I was like, this woman. And she was like, that's the way it is. And she was like, when she takes a off day, like 1 week, she doesn't work.
Hmm.
She makes money, and then 1 week is all about her and her family. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So
so
does she actually do summits every month then? Or is that what she's aiming for herself?
that's what she used to do. She's a millionaire. She's got money now.
Oh, I see.
So she used to,
Right.
until she became who she is
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if she has a way, she said, I recommend every month.
Okay.
But I think we were talking about it with Rachel. I
Mm-hmm.
think what she's saying, it makes sense, because when you start doing the arrangements, you don't know, you have to contact the speakers, you don't know what they're going to say, the behavior. But I think once you know, you get the hang of it,
Yeah.
you get to hire people, or you get to just bring people that already been there,
Mm-hmm.
or you get to, is something, even the landing page, you get to tweak it around. So it's not as much work. So I think what she's saying, it does make sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What have you got to lose? You know,
So,
it's
so
going into what are you
yeah,
worried about, by this doing it every month. Again, it's going to those worries.
yeah,
What have you got to lose? You can do it for a few months. If it's not, if you're finding that it is too much, then you can review it and stop, or do it, at bigger intervals. If you don't actually do it, you've got no feedback. And I
no,
think this is the whole thing about the reaching out. If you don't reach out, you've got no feedback.
yeah,
And so you're not moving forward. So yeah, it is a case of saying, well, what have I got to lose?
yeah,
And yet you've got everything to gain. You can ask yourself the questions, isn't it? Well, what's the worst that could happen? And then what's the worst that could happen? And just go down that road and then say, well, okay, so given that, what's the best that could happen? And then what's the best that could happen? And look at the two. And at the end of the day, it's your choice. You have a choice, as we keep saying, you have a choice. It's not like you don't have a choice.
yeah,
It just depends what you actually want out of life. And I like what you're saying, it's being prepared to do what's uncomfortable, because it is uncomfortable. It's something that's actually expanding your comfort zone, because it's something that's outside your comfort zone right now. And for me, it's not about stepping outside your comfort zone. It's about expanding it. Because if you step outside of it, then you've left everything that you're comfortable with behind. For me, if you expand your comfort zone and include what's outside of it, it's not just that one thing that's there that you're wanting to do. If you actually look around, you'll find there's a whole host of other things that were uncomfortable that you
yeah,
find, oh, I can do those now. So for me, it's just about expanding and expanding that comfort zone. What can you now include in, what was uncomfortable can now become comfortable. And but what you were saying about prayer got you to do it, praying, listening to God's answers. And actually, that's what in the end got me to take the action, because I'd been taking other actions and it was like I was blocked. And in the end I was going, oh, for heaven's sake, Lord, what is it that I'm meant to be doing? And I have this picture in my head and it's like, well, this is it. Oh, no, okay,
do the thing, get up, go and do it.
No, I did it. And it's exciting, actually. I'm really, there's a buzz and an excitement that's happening. And so, yeah, it's, there was something else I was going to say to go back to that, but it is exciting. And so my retreat is actually happening.
So if someone is watching Carol Ann and they want to know more about the retreat, can you explain to our audience what the retreat is about? I've got it right now.
It's about it's writing. It's what I call it. It's an immersive writing retreat. So there's 5 days where you can immerse yourself in the writing process. But the way I work, it's not like other writing retreats or writing experiences that you have where you're told what to do, or you're told about structure or form of what you're meant to be writing. This is having activities that help unlock that writer within. I do a lot through play. I love playing with things in there, and I know on my Facebook page, like they're over there. I'll just go and get them. Hang on a second. These things. Have you ever played pickup sticks?
Oh no, I've never played them.
It's a great game, and what's this got to do with writing? It's like any of the games and the puzzles that I take with me. What you do is you hold these and then you just drop them, so they just fall onto the table, and then you have to pick them up one at a time without disturbing the other ones. And if you disturb them, then obviously it's the next person's go. But for me, by playing games or jigsaws, what it does, it brings out the limiting beliefs, that self-talk that you've got that is stopping you from writing, that's not helping you to produce your best writing. And by doing that, because we're in that goal of actually wanting to get this, this story written or this book written, it will highlight those conversations and feelings and thoughts. And then I'll do some other activities like brain gym or vision gym, or do some meditation or something that just helps for the body to reset and re-educate itself and find a more efficient way of doing things. And then we'll do the activities again. And what happens is there's a different voice that comes. You get a much more empowering belief, and your writing then just changes. It's something opens up. You get more depth, more substance to your writing. The tone changes. Even the way you write, and your confidence just grows. So for me, that's how I do work with my workshops, and and listening to whatever's going on with the body. So like right now, and there's coughing, it's like what wants to be said hasn't yet been said. And next week I'm got a theme, and what I'm doing is looking at the senses of the inner writer. So I'm going to be awakening all of the senses of that inner writer. So looking at touch, taste, smell, sight, hearing, but also there's a proprioceptive sense. And also something that I realized yesterday, there's a sense of time and timing. So I'm going to bring that in, because we're always think, oh, I'm running out of time. I haven't got enough time. So this sense of time, knowing that actually our timing is always perfect if we allow ourselves to be in the moment, in flow, and just keep asking for guidance. So this retreat next week is about where you can go into the emotional aspect of your story, because what I can offer is a cradle of emotional support. If you do find yourself going into meltdown because you touched in on some part of your story that is really painful, I can hold that space so that you can actually be with that part of your story and write from there, which is much more powerful, because the emotion then goes through your words. It will touch your reader, and your reader will be more engaged with reading your words. Because it's like Maya Angelou says, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel.
Yeah.
So that's really what my work is about. And this retreat next week, it's nice little group of us all sort of snuggled way down. We're near the sea as well, so we've got sight of the sea, and we can also pop down to it. But it's
that
it's my first
exciting, Carol Ann.
I'm excited because it's like
awakening your inner writing.
Yeah, this is it. And as I've written today, there's some people I sort of remembered a time where I'd written a poem, something from within me. It just came out, and I wrote it. I shared it with my aunt, who is she was a poet, bless her, and she was very good. And she just corrected it. And I remember reading it and going, oh, it didn't feel like mine anymore. It lost the essence. And I just went, oh no. And so I wonder how many people have had their work edited and it's been changed so dramatically. They've gone, oh, I don't know where to start now. And you lose the enthusiasm for it.
Yeah.
So what you can do on this retreat next week is rekindle that enthusiasm. You just know where to start. The writing just flows, and you can get it rewritten in a way that actually the editor will go, wow, it doesn't need much more editing now.
Yeah.
That's the power of the work that I do. So, but yeah, it is exciting because this writing retreat has been a dream for a long time, but this actual one was supposed to have happened in May 2020, but this is the 5th date that I've had for it because we've had to keep putting it back each time. And even then it got to a point where the last time I had to put the date back was because the venue closed and they cancelled on me. And it got to a point where, am I going to do this? And I actually realized if I didn't do this, I would not have the breakthrough that I meant to have. And I really feel that now. It's like having faced all those worries and concerns about reaching out to people. It's out there. Like you say, there's that visibility. People know about it. There's a conversation happening. And it's like, oh, I'm excited. Because you just never know.
I've just realized after we've done the summit, now you can show your appreciation with stars. You can send money, actually, real money.
Oh, okay. Yeah. For what do they send the money for?
Under the comment, you can send appreciation, like a comment. You can comment with the emojis or words, or you can comment with £5. You can comment with a gold star, £5, a gold star, £10.
Oh, nice. That's a nice thought.
So I'm gonna say I just need to see how this is work. How is it working?
I just like to give another quote in response to your question earlier.
Yeah.
It's a quote by Vernon Howard, and he says that a truly strong person does not need the approval of others any more than a lion needs the approval of sheep.
I love this, Carol, and I think for me, since the day I was born, I've never needed any approval from anyone. My family they think I'm bonkers, but now I think that's what they thought. But I think now they do understand that it's very, very important to actually live the life that you want, because there's some things that it's like my dad. My dad used to teach me to be the person that I want to be, even my stepfather. And sometimes I'll make decisions and they'll be there to support me. But I think it is important to actually do the things that you feel is right for you. And if you do make a mistake, it is okay. There are some people that they're scared of, people are going to judge me. I just do the crazy. I'm not afraid to actually take chances and just do the crazy. If somebody tells me that, Nomsa, this works, this is going to help the audience, as long as it's going to benefit the audience, I'm just going to do it. And my family, sometimes I think they're like, I don't tell them anymore. They just say, even the summit, I just arranged the summit, and that is it. I just do what I think that is going to benefit somebody and is going to benefit my family. Because doing the things that, like right now, you have this retreat coming up. You have people that have booked, and these people might seem like this is a small number. Like the number that you are telling me is the number that even Shanda, she says when she started her summit, people didn't turn up. Few people turned up, but they didn't give up. So you have these people that God has given you to take them to this retreat. Mm-hmm. And now is a chance for you to showcase who Carol Ann is. And also these people are going to bring 3 people more. They're going to recommend you, because now it's word of mouth. If somebody recommends somebody, people listen, and then people will come to your summit, to your retreat, and wanting to know. Because for me, what I know is writing is expensive. If I ask somebody to write like 2,000 words, I'm going to pay about £600. Just 600, like 2,000 words. And for business, for the website needs to be written properly. There's so many things that you need to know how to write. And there are benefits for businesses knowing to write your own material and to write your own content, like what you were saying, from the heart. So it's up to you then to reach out to those people, because right now you have these people that you're going to retreat with them. And after this retreat, there's got to be more. And now today I was thinking, I was like, oh, Carol Ann is, she's doing a retreat. We should have a video that talks about what, like now what you are explaining to me, awakening, that is completely different to what is written in that banner. And for me, if I was listening to your voice and explaining to what the retreat is about, I want to book it. I want to unleash this awakening for me to know how to write. Honestly, as a business person, I want to do it. So I'm sure next time there's going to be some Carol Ann that is in there, that is going to tell that inner child that we got to do this. Let's do this. We can do this. So that's what I'm excited about.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It is exciting. And I think for me, stepping into this now and fully owning it and going, this is who I am. This is how I work. And yet the results I'll get from this retreat, I've got results from workshops that I've done, but again, from this retreat, it's another whole nother sort of ball game.
Yeah.
There are just 3 places left. It is a small number of, small group, and there's only 3 places left. So if anybody's interested, it's not too late to get in touch. And I do have a special offer on at the moment. You just pay your deposit, and we can work out a payment plan that goes beyond the retreat. But also I have a guarantee that if you pay your deposit and you're there for the whole week and you don't experience some change with your writing, you don't have to pay me anything more. Come along. what have you got to lose? You've got everything to gain with experiencing writing in a whole different way to how you've ever experienced it before. But for me, it's been a case of, well, yes, I've been worried about what people have thought or what will think about how I do it. Because there's that little voice that says, oh, well, it's all too simple. It's not how, it's not how it's normally done. People don't do it like this. And it's taken me a long while to just go, this is how I work. This is what I do. And it is simple, but it's effective. And it is through doing the workshops that I've done and working with other people that they're the ones that are saying, no, this is working. And I've got their testimonials as well, which has been really helpful. And, them going, no, this is needed. And it's about me stop listening to my own inner voice and listening to them and realizing that actually, who am I to deny the world of my creative work? Even if it's not a huge number of people that access it, those people that do, it makes a huge difference for them. And they then go on to impact and make a difference in other people's lives. So it's more the ripple effect. It's not about your creative work impacting the whole world directly, but if you can impact the lives of a few people, that impacts the lives of a few more people, and so on. And it's the ripple effect that eventually goes around the world. And that's the magic, that's the beauty. So if you are worried about, there's this need to please, to be, to have approval, where does that come from? Actually take time to look at it. Who actually are you seeking approval from? When didn't you get approval? What age you didn't get the approval that you wanted? And who was that from? And address that. Because once you address that, that will then free you up, because it's not the you now that is actually seeking that approval. So again, it's reaching out, asking for some support, and work out who is it actually that wants approval and why.
Yeah.
And when didn't you get it? And when you can address that, things will change. There may be another fear. There's no market for your creativity. And that was something that I was hinting on earlier, to saying, there's no market for what I do. I kept thinking, and everybody wants, the usual way of writing or being told how to write. There's no market for me. What a story. What a story that was. And so I changed and let go of that story. So again, something is, what's the story you're telling yourself? And then you've got a choice. You can say, I choose to hang on to that story, believe it and live it, or I choose to let go of that story. I choose that there is a market for my creativity, and step into that. And keep recognizing when you're saying, oh, there's no market for me, stop and go, just catch yourself and say, I choose that there is a market for my creativity, and just shift. So that's something else that you can do that will help you to find that courage and that confidence and strength to actually put yourself out there, keep going. Because it is about keep going. And it does take time. It can take time.
Yeah, things do take time, Carol Ann, because where we've been with the Ngozi talk shows, and right now I'm sitting here. I am going to my page. I'm actually expecting. I was looking at my page, and I'm like, show your appreciation at Ngozi talk shows, and I'm like, what's the money then? Why do I need to share appreciation now on the page? we can actually make money on Gossip Talk Show's page. I tried to activate it before, but we didn't qualify. So now it means we're qualified to make money. So people can come in. Anyone that wants to feeling generous, they can just put £5 and say thank you for encouragements, words of encouragements, or they can put comments like to say, oh, thank you very much. They choose what they want. They want to give money, and so it's like I'm watching it. It keeps popping up. Send stars to supporting Gossip Talk shows. So, but where have we been? Can you imagine where have we been? And the speakers that left. And the most thing that is actually making me laugh is God is he works in so many ways. God is a God that he will test you. When you say you want something, he will test you by wanting to know your intentions. What are your intentions with this and Gossip Talk shows? And our intentions is to actually build our community and empower people, and that's what it has to be in the heart as well. And that's what it keeps me going, even when I feel fear within me. When I feel that fear that like I know I'm creative and I know I can do this, but there comes this voice that I don't think you're good enough, you can do it. And I know that my abilities, the things that I can do. So knowing that, why am I doing this? Is this for me? And I looking back, the life that I have had myself, not knowing anything about personal development. So it helps me to come up with a solution to say, okay, things are not, I've never done this before. Somebody's going to make a comment anyway with the things that I've done. And even Shanda, I think she's, she says you'll be surprised the things that she's been called on. She says actually people that call her out, like they end up helping her. She goes, when there was a Black Lives Matter thing, and she goes, I'm not black, I'm white. Here's me going to comment and not knowing what the black culture and the things. And then I have these black coaches, people that are like, Shanda, you need some coaching. Let's get on Zoom. You want to reply to Black Lives Matter? This is how you should communicate. And she goes, this is how I find myself, but I could have easily said, do not judge me. And she goes, I'm like, okay, you want to go on Zoom with me? I'll go on Zoom. I'll jump in on Zoom. And then she says, it is me. I'm sitting there and people are telling me how they feel. I'm a white person, but people are telling me exactly how they feel, how they're being made feel. And then by them telling me their feelings, she then says, I'm then able to go and comment the right way on social media. She is so funny, that woman. So, and all those things, when you find these coaches that speaks the truth, and I've worked with so many coaches that speaks the truth. The Daisy says, Nomsa, when you do something, you've got to put it all, you've got to put your heart in it. You've got to be professional. You've got to be this. And that's why there's some things that when I do, like I see myself behaving like them, I'm like, oh my goodness. But it's just having those people that you meet, they're your role model. And when they're your role model and you are like, you want to do something and you are like doing your retreat and you're like, if we can do this, if somebody that I follow, they can do this, what's different with me and them? There's no different. The only different is they have the courage to step up and say, I'm going to do this. And that's why this retreat is coming Sunday, because you have the courage to say, I am Carol Ann Cooper. And is that Cooper your surname or your marriage name?
It's my surname.
Yeah.
It was my married name.
Cooper's daughter. Cooper's
It was my
daughter's
married name.
bloodline. Yeah, your bloodline is Cooper, so I'm gonna be different.
My bloodline isn't Cooper. That was my married name.
Okay.
Walklate is my maiden name.
So now we need to declare with your bloodline the real name. Walklate. Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Yeah, you have to say it, girl. You have to declare it like your bloodline name. I declare it honestly. My bloodline, I am Nomsam Nube, Witness's daughter, Clara's daughter. My mom is called Tembile Clara. And I declare it and I say, I can do this, God. I can do this. And I'm testifying it. I can do this. Even if I'm scared. But then I find that when I'm declaring it, I want to be the change. If I'm declaring it and saying I want to be the change in my bloodline, and I want to be a good example to my community, and I want my bloodline to look at me and say, if she can do this, I can do this. Because there are some people that in the family that are talented. My family, when I look at it, like the things that I do now is the things that my grandfather taught me. I didn't learn to be on stage in the UK. That was my grandfather. He lived in the village. So he was teaching me to be on stage. And when we go, when I do this, so it makes me realize actually I can be the changer for somebody else, change their mind, how they think about themselves. And that's why this retreat, actually, I've watched you. I was so proud this morning. Was it yesterday or this morning when I'm looking at the comment, you're busy commenting on Facebook with your retreat. And I was like, that's my girl. Because I watched you rearranging it. And I was like, I am saying nothing. I am not going to say nothing. All I'm going to say is when is Carol Ann, when is retreat? And you kept saying, and in my heart, I kept believing because I believed in you. I kept believing that it will happen. Because when somebody tells you in your heart, you can't, if you push them, then they're not really doing it. They're going to get scared. All you got to do is put out the energy. So I was like, I just believe that she's going to do it. And I'm glad that it is happening on Sunday. The retreat, Carol Ann, can you tell the audience again, please? And if anyone wants to sign up, what they need to do. And actually, I'm going to testify on my own page, guys. If you go on the logo, on the banner, you press the banner, there's a link there. It will take you to Carol Ann's retreat. Then you can sign up. Carol Ann, please tell the audience.
Well, they actually can book a call with me. So we can have a conversation and then sign up. But yeah, it's 5 days of really giving yourself that time to focus on you. And this is what I actually do, is personal development through writing. So you're getting to know yourself, you're getting to clear blocks, face demons that you normally can't face.
Yeah.
And work through them and just release them and come out the other side with writing that is much stronger, and ways of writing that you've never experienced before. So do get in touch. Even, message me on Facebook, send me a message with writing retreat interested, or, book a call. But on the landing page, it's got a link to my booking calendar thing, so you could book a call with me. But if it gets to Friday, there's no more times on there because I'm traveling, but you could perhaps message me on Facebook, and I can then get back in touch with you and we can organize something, because it's never too late. It starts on Sunday, so it's never too late. You've still got Friday and
so you're not
Saturday.
here at Tinkosi Talk Shows, are you, Friday?
No, or next week. So
exciting. I'm excited for the retreat.
I'm so
excited.
And I love what you were saying about, thank you for, it's not pushing somebody through it.
Yeah.
It's holding that space and seeing them having got through it.
Yeah.
And that's how you can empower other people. because yeah, you can't push anybody.
No, you can't.
You
You
just get
can't
that.
push.
They'll push
Me,
back.
I just push behind the prayer. With the prayer, I just pray and hold the space for somebody. My daughter, she got bullied at school, and then lost like confidence for a few months, and her grades went down. But what I did was I didn't talk about it to her, and I said to her, you know what you can do, you know the things that you are capable of. So I just hold that space for her and praying for her, and just kept saying like positive words that, you know, you can do this, you know, you can do this. And I see now that she's living the life that the space that I hold for her. She agrees, she just believed, and she was like, one day, mommy, I believe that I can go back to where I was, and not, she didn't go back to where she was, she got more. She just she just went more, and I could see like her attitude and stuff, her behavior. And with her sister, younger sister now, and I kept, because lockdown, 2 years they were not going to school, and the teachers were giving homework to parents. I'm not teacher, and my children, I try to teach them, and they're like, no, mommy, you're not my teacher. She's like, you're not my teacher. She couldn't understand it, so she fell behind because I'm not a teacher. But then I kept holding that space for her, that you got this. And yesterday she was telling me, actually, I'm getting smarter and smarter and smarter. And it's like, that's my baby. She's doing homework. She goes, mommy, I'm going smarter and smarter. I'm like, I'm praying for you. That is God. So I believe that anyone at Ngozi talk shows that is really dedicated with everything, with their coaching and stuff, I just hold that space that I know that something will come out of it. And I know that you guys are going to become somebody because of the energy that I feel, and the energy that I just am sending it out there. And I believe that you guys, God is going to reward you. He's rewarded you guys with gold. I'm checking gold now. I can comment with gold. Real money. I'm like, oh wow, that's amazing. So yeah. The retreat is just gonna be amazing, Carol Ann. I'm just holding a space. Anyone, guys, these are my words of encouragement today. And Carol Ann, she's just gonna talk about the retreat, because we're holding that space for her, what the retreat is about before we leave. And it's also the topic today that your creativity is very, very important to actually, when God gives you a talent, use that talent, not hide it, not being afraid. Even God himself, he was rejected, but he is the creator of the earth. He is the creator of our world, universe. But he was rejected himself. So who am I? For me, this is something that keeps me going as well, Carol. And when somebody rejects me, I look at God the way he was rejected, and I'm like, who am I not to be rejected? So I'm like, okay, bring it on. Sometimes it hurts, but I have passed that part where I've meditated too much in a way that when I see someone criticizing me, I just see that it's a distraction. But there's a criticism that I take. When somebody criticizes me, wanting me to do better, I'm listening. That one, I cannot ignore it. I want to know, how can you help me to change the way it's going to benefit me and it's going to benefit my audience? So I'm listening. But those who are criticizing for the joy of glory, taking my glory, I'm not listening. So that is the other part where it keeps me going. When somebody rejects me, I just say it's fine, but I know God loves me, and I know there are some people that loves me. So those are the things that keeps me going, and having the courage of knowing why. For me, I come from Africa. I don't come from a rich family. I want to be rich. I want to live a different life. I want to help my family in Africa. So that's what I'm here in the UK to actually work hard and learn more, and my children to have a different life than I had before. My life was good, but my stepdad was a rich man who did have everything. And my dad, we didn't have everything like my stepdad's side. But that makes me embrace life and have this, be grateful. So that's why, and I'm sure that's why, Carol, and you're going for this retreat to change things in your bloodline. So your grandchildren, can you imagine your grandchildren when they look at you now? What do they see? They are like, no, I cannot let my nanny beat me. I want to be a businessman or a businesswoman.
Yes, yeah, my own business. I can be successful in my own right. That's
Yeah.
right. And it is that's realized what I've realized my why is. And you were saying something about knowing your why.
Yeah.
What's your purpose? You know, why is it you do what you do? And I've realized that for me, it is this whole conversation about the only way to get an income is have a job. And it's like, no, stop that, cut that whole story about you. The only way to do it is get a job. You got to get a job. You got to get a job. And that's all you hear. How about a business, you know? Yes, there's a job is one way, but it isn't the only way. But that seems to be the loudest voice, you know, and I'm quietening that voice down, because your own business, you can create a successful and financial profitable income from your own business. And that's my why, because I have 2 grandchildren at the moment who are running a business, you know, successfully, and their focus could be more on it being successful rather than I need a job, being the louder voice. So it's quietening one down and increasing the volume on the other. That's my why. And that's really, I could, you know, really feel that passion. It's like, no, and I have to prove it, you know, clear that voice in my own head that very often says, oh, wouldn't it be easier just to go and get a job? And I catch myself and I go, no, you haven't done all this work all these years. Just let go of that. And that's what, you know, really saddens my heart when I hear people who are struggling with their business to get it going, and they give up and then go and get a job, because it could be right on the cusp of having that breakthrough. You just never know. And one of the things that is key, which I noticed with all our speakers that showed up on Saturday, they all had a book. They all had a book.
Yeah.
And that is how you lead. You lead with your story. You write a book, and it's not about having a bestseller. It's something that promotes you, that shares about you, that leads the way for people getting to know you rather than you speaking a lot, you know. So it is writing your story. It's about leading with your story, getting your book written.
And actually, you actually engross the talk shows, because Brenda as well, she's a publisher, so they can write, learn to write a book and then publish it with Brenda.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So is that, and what I'd like to leave our viewers with is this quote. I was looking up because
Carol Annie, you still need to send me the person with the course you were using Saturday.
Oh, Rumi. Yes, I will.
Rumi.
I've got them written here. I will send
How do you spell his name?
Rumi.
Okay.
Rumi.
Oh yeah, his quotes there.
Yes.
Beautiful. Beautiful quotes.
I'll message those over to you. But this one quote, I had to look, because I only got bits of it. It was sort of jumping around in my head, and I wrote bits down earlier, so I had to look it up. It's, you can please some of the people all of the time. You can please all of the people some of the time. but you can't please all of the people all of the time.
No.
So just what are you worried about? That's by John Lydgate. So it's just something to remember. You can't please all the people all of the time. So just get into it. Just get into it and have fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy the adventure. Yeah.
Yeah. Have fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much, guys. At Ngozi Talk Shows, please follow Carol Ann for her retreat and find out more about her retreat. And if you can't make it Sunday, next year she's doing another one, and please have a chat with her. And if you want to break any chains or you want to self-love, we have different coaches here at Ngozi Talk Shows. Get in touch. That's what we do, finding that framework, breakthrough framework when it comes to life, because sometimes life it can be something else. And we've been through it, and we found that breakthrough framework. And here at Ngozi Talk Shows, Ngozi Talk Shows is actually my name. Ngozi is my name, and it means Nkulunkulu God. So my uncle gave me this name. So it means every time, whenever I'm sad, oh, I'm not a God, because there's only one above them all. So my name, it gives me hope. It gives me, when I listen to like Ngozi Talk Show, what Ngozi Talk Show is about. It's about these 6 or 5 panelists that are here to change people's lives. They're here to break chains. And if it's something that you really want to break chains and find your own voice and lead from within, get in touch with us. God bless. Live with grace.
God bless.